mate. Geordie Journo's back at our first Newcastle United game of 2025. Back with a win. 6 in a row for Newcastle United. 2-1 against Tottenham Hotspur this afternoon. And if the previous 5 games were walks in the park, that was anything but.
Yeah, new year, same old story for Newcastle United. They can't stop winning football matches. Alexander Isak can't stop scoring goals. Jacob Murphy can't stop providing goals. It's just been... Look, if those 5 were... There's elements of real positivity about them. This was a result rather than a performance. I think there's reasons to that. I think that they ran out of steam a lot today. I think Monday night at Manchester United took so much out of this team that they only had so much left in the tank. I think they sort of spilled all that out on the pitch here. I think they put everything into that game, and it was probably a half of football that they had in them. Any more than that, again, was a struggle, and that allowed Tottenham, a really depleted, injury-ravaged, sickness bug-ravaged Tottenham, to really come into the game. And look, I can see the arguments. Would Tottenham, if this was Newcastle United, would they be walking away thinking you should have got a point if you're Tottenham? I think they'll think they probably should have got something today. But Newcastle United got a little bit of a rub of the green maybe with the Joe Linton one. It's the rules. It is the rules, but. You know, if that was given against Newcastle United, would you be disappointed? Maybe. Again, similarly at Manchester United, the Joe Linton handball. Joe Linton's hands have had a big say in what's gone on this week, and I'm all for it as well because they've both gone Newcastle United's way. Look, I don't think today is probably a day to dwell on the fact that how much is left in the tank. I don't think there looks like there's a lot left in the tank. You guys might come on to that as well, because I know Eddie Howe talked about how much he thought was left in the tank in Newcastle United. This is a day to really revel in the fact that they've gone to 2 places that, look, they've won here before. They haven't won much at Manchester United. They've gone to 2 places in the space of a week and come away with 6 points in the Premier League. 2 very, very tough away games. 2 games that at the start of the season when the fixtures come out, you look at them and say that's a tough run after Christmas. That's not easy there, and they've come away with 6 points. You cannot fault anything that's gone on in this. Look, it wasn't vintage. There weren't really any vintage performances out there. The 2 that I would say that stood out to me, apart from Martin Dubravka, who's never really put a foot wrong since he's come back into the team, would be Tino Livramento put in his best performance I think in a long time in a black and white shirt.
For the season, do you reckon?
It's hard to remember, but probably not far off.
I wrote my player rating, so.
Did you? Well, there you
I was
are.
trying to think on the top of my head a better game he's had, probably defensively, because I thought that was probably his best defensive shift for
He had a couple of hairy moments when Son came on, but Son's a top-class operator, isn't he? You can't really legislate for that. But I thought defensively he's excellent. But for me, he doesn't always get the praise. He doesn't always get his name shouted from the rooftops. But Dan Burn, I thought, was absolutely outstanding. One moment he had in the whole game, I thought he was flawless. Apart from, he was slightly off in his position when Kulusevski should have got through and probably got a shot off on goal. But apart from that, I thought he put in an excellent performance.
Eddie Howe was asked whether he thought Dan Burn was lucky to stay on the pitch. Because what I will say, Dan Burn got an early yellow card and managed it very well from there. But there was a bit where he had a handball, he had a couple of niggly fouls, and it's like, he did walk a tightrope, I think, but take nothing away from his performance. Thomas Tuchel was here today.
You get them in the next squad.
Well, he was asked about Jacob Murphy
as well.
Jacob
Murphy in the press comments afterwards.
Legitimately.
What do you mean?
For England.
Thomas Tuchel was here today. Jacob Murphy.
Who asked? Did you plant that in?
It wasn't any of us.
No, it was a national question.
But I'm sure if Jacob Murphy sees this video, he'll be very appreciative of that news.
Hey, on current form, assists. Does he get the assist for? He does for us, but does that go down as an assist?
I don't think he does.
Because the final touch came off Dragerson, didn't it?
It was an assist though.
It was an assist.
Lewis Hall got the assist at Man U, so by that definition, surely Jacob
there was no real change of general direction with that one. It was a deflection in the same way, whereas this one was more Dragerson literally put it onto Isak, didn't he? So I think there is probably a slight difference, but he gets it for us. And this is the Geordie Journos, and we decide who gets the goals and the assists. I think we had one earlier in the season, didn't we, where we ended up giving it to somebody that didn't score.
Did we give it was it Joe? No.
I thought we gave Lewis Hall one where it was like technically not an assist.
No, I mean there was a goal where it was like that goes down in an own
goal.
No,
Joe Willock.
And it was like,
it was Joe Willock.
No, it's his goal.
Yeah,
but it was.
It was his goal. But no, I think there's lots to be positive about from what we've seen so far. In the last month or so, Newcastle United have looked as good a team on the road in patches as what they've looked at home, and that's all you can ask for. It's the place you wanted them to be for so long. A team that were a bunch of homers, a bunch of players who couldn't really go on the road and produce the same kind of performances. Yeah. You see Anthony Gordon put in the type of performance he did in that first half. He took a shot and knock in the face. He was a right mess.
That was
I know I'd have to see it again, I'll be honest.
It was a naughty one. I thought there was a few naughty ones actually. I was thinking that Dominic Solanke challenge on Martin Dubravka, like it's a high foot, things like that.
I thought it was unnecessary to go for it with your foot when you see how high it is. Yeah. It was a header. You've got to go in with your head, and I think that's actually on Solanke's part a lack of bravery. I think he knows that as well. I think he could go in, but he chooses not to. He goes with his foot, but you run the risk. I've seen cards dished out for that kind of challenge in the past. You wouldn't have been surprised, but no, I think it's been a positive run of results. That was probably, of all of the performances, the least impressive.
In some ways, yeah. They were in the least control.
I think they showed two sides to the game, which I think for most part probably from Manchester United half an hour onwards or before that, where they essentially blew teams away, whereas from the final hour at Old Trafford to the second 45 today, it was like a proper dogged performance, wasn't it?
First 20 was iffy as well, I thought.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily backs against the wall, because I think Tottenham had a lot of possession, but realistically didn't threaten too many times. A lot of ball.
Those ones the one flashed across the goal both ways. That was a goal.
There was a lot of balls in the box though, and that's where Dan Burn comes in for me, because he won everything.
He did.
But I just think they showed a different side, where on the road you've got to come to places like this and show them sort of characteristics, and they've done that at two really, really tough away grounds. So as well as blowing teams away, they've actually shown they can defend against teams as well, which for me is brilliant.
Yes, it's finding different ways to win, because you're never, especially away grounds like this, you're never going to get everything your own way, and Newcastle found that out inside the opening 4 minutes, conceding early on to, Sven Botman's back in the team, we'll get on him later, but Dominic Solanke header 1-0 down after 4 minutes away from home is never an easy position to be in, especially at a team like Tottenham, regardless of the injury situation, the way they play. And Newcastle, like you say, iffy 15-20 minutes, but I thought they ended the half really strongly, and I think even at 1-1, Newcastle are the better team here. Then they went in front before half time, and to be honest, they could have had more. Isak had a decent chance. Flashes across the goal.
Gordon had one in the second half, didn't he?
Gordon had one. Well, he had one in the first half as well. So, yeah, Newcastle, I think, after maybe Gordon's chance in the second half where he blasted it over, didn't really get much of a sniff after that, but did what they needed to do in the opening 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think it's, like I say, I think for me, you cannot take anything away from them. In this run, they've won all kinds of games. They've dispatched the teams at the bottom. Although Tottenham and Manchester United aren't in the category where Newcastle United are at the moment, they've gone toe to toe with teams who are in the category Newcastle United are. You know that
teams you've got to use
group,
teams on paper. You've
got to beat to get where you want to go.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, you can put into that one. Look, you can say all you want about there's an asterisk against Aston Villa because it was against 10 men for X, Y, and Z. Or you can say, they came to Tottenham and there was 9 players out, and then they had a sickness bug, and there wasn't that many of them missing really, especially not in that last half hour when Son came on and Maddison came on. There wasn't a whole lot of them missing.
Mind games.
But I'll say this in Newcastle United's defence. You could put an asterisk against probably 70% of Newcastle United's games last season, the amount of players that were missing, particularly from December onwards. And I don't think teams were walking away from St James's Park going, well, it's not that good, is it? Because they had such and such a missing and such a... No.
It's 2.5 points.
Exactly. It's not 2.5 points, it's 3 points. Or it was progression in a cup competition, and that's the way we've got to treat it as well. Got to look at it and say, look, they've got to some tough places. They've had a run of games where they've had games they should win, they've won them. They've had games where, on paper, they normally lose, they've won them. They've done everything asked of them. I just do feel that Arsenal could be a step too far. I think this team has run out of legs. I think it's running on empty, and I think it's going to be a tough ask on Wednesday. They're going to have to hang in there. And for me, Arsenal on Tuesday night feels very much like the PSG of last season.
Yeah. The pepper of the goal in
possibly.
Martin Dubravka might actually have to make some saves when he goes to.
He made two good ones.
But it might be the busiest he's been for a while.
I suspect he might be. But look, that's the way it goes. You want to be Newcastle. Eddie Howe, the footballers, all you fans out there, you want Newcastle United to be competing. at the top level competitions and getting deep into competitions, and so you can't complain when they get there and maybe have issues. You go deep. That's why top teams have big squads. You go deep in competitions, you're going to need your squads. Look, Newcastle United still, in the same manner as they were last year, aren't really quite at that stage yet. They haven't got the deep enough squads because there's still holes up front. There's still an Alexander Isak injury. Touch wood, nothing like that happens. Yeah. But they're an Alexander Isak injury away from a mini disaster.
And he's looked knackered the last 2 games.
He was flat out in the 35th minute, man.
Before half time, he was shattered, wasn't he?
Yeah. But because he's played so much football, such an explosive lad. But he's got no backup, and then they just had to bring him off the end. Joe Willock coming on as a centre mid.
Well, that was utter chaos, but we'll not go too much into that. That was chaotic, the substitutions. But look, it didn't matter because it just saw the game out. They got the points, and as they go into, they can't drop anywhere below 5th no matter what happens this weekend. That's some place to be because they've never had that. They've always been looking up and chasing and a step behind everybody else this season. Whereas now they've got one foot cemented in the positions where they want to be, and it's theirs to lose.
Yeah, a tight Premier League table, albeit it's tight in some places. There's gaps starting to emerge with the Premier League table.
And then you've got Wolves, and then you've got Fulham, and then you've got, is that right? Is it a mass?
Wolves, yeah, the games after Arsenal.
After
the league table.
No, then you've got Wolves.
Bournemouth.
Crystal,
Southampton.
So on.
There's your 4 games where you go, right, there's a time that's, you really want to guarantee 3 wins out of that little sequence of games. And what a run that would be.
Incredible, but it's hypothetical at the moment.
So when you're on these running.
You do feel a bit
runs. It feels like when's the defeat gonna come? It's just like
I don't feel like that. I think Tuesday.
I don't think the players do either. To be fair,
I think Tuesday's a different kettle of fish. I
really
do.
Tough ask.
But in terms of then going again at the weekend, if they go on Tuesday and manage to get like a 0-0 or something at Arsenal, you'd be looking at the Saturday going, we're really hanging on by a thread here. Then you'd start to say then that might be the game where the wheels come off a little bit in terms of the league form. But they've put enough cash in the bank and got themselves to a position they can probably afford to lose one and still be in the mix and go again. It's not the disaster it was before 6 weeks ago. It was lose one, bloody hell, you're in the bottom half of the table. You're in trouble. You're really looking up the 7 teams ahead of where you want to be. Whereas now, it's very different. What are you laughing at? Because there's a noise.
No, it's just you were going further and further back.
I'm trying to creep forward.
We'll be losing focus because I'm getting excited.
But
Sven Botman.
Yes, good to see him back. Almost a surprise to see him straight back in. But
you were on the video yesterday, but me and Dom were pretty.
Well, if I'd been on the video, I would have said something different.
Would you?
Yeah. Well, I've said
that.
Well,
we had some comments saying Sven Botman.
To be fair,
you can't.
He's the man.
Can't argue with quality. And Eddie Howe really, like we said before the game, dropped a massive hint regarding Sven Botman when he was asked whether he'd be comfortable playing him from the start. He went, absolutely. He's been training for 6 weeks. He's played 3 practice games. He hasn't had any issues bar that one illness he had around the Man U game. Probably could have played in that game if he was healthy. But come straight into the side today. And I'll be honest, I mean, that goal, the initial goal, he's maybe on the back foot slightly.
It's like Dominic
Solanke's header.
It was good movement from Solanke. I thought Solanke was a real threat for that first half hour.
But I thought Sven Botman, it was definitely had to feel his way into the game. But once he made that first tackle, won that first header, he didn't really look back and he got back to his old self. There was one, he put a free kick down, pinged it out wide to Jacob Murphy. Lovely. It was... say rolling back the years, he's only 24, but it was a nice reminder of just the quality of centre-back Newcastle have.
25 next week, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
He's
not spring chicken anymore.
No, they signed him 22, didn't they?
Yeah. He was the same. He's 25 now.
Yeah. Right, before we go even deeper into what we thought was good and bad and different about the players, and particularly Sven Botman as well, because I'm really enthused by the fact that he's back available in the team. We're going to have a little word for our sponsors, of course. 4 Rivers Financial Planning are proud sponsors of all Geordie long form, short form, all kinds of content. They've been on board for quite some time. If you need any holistic financial advice, particularly with regards to pensions and future-proofing yourself with your financial needs, do get in touch with them. All the details will be below. And of course, we are all sponsored by Mitigate Mitigate transforms workplace mental health, mitigating legal risks, reducing absenteeism, and boosting productivity, delivering up to £9 ROI per £1 invested. Book your free demo today. And of course, just like Four Rivers, Mitigate, all of the details will be below this video. So if you need anything with regards to mental health, try about Mitigate. If you need anything with regards pensions, see out Four Rivers Financial Planning. Sven Botman, discuss.
Just a big boost to have him back, isn't it? So
I thought his footballing ability is a big boost.
It is.
Especially with Shea not playing the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his most natural position. If you said, it's the centre-back playing centre-back, but left-footed centre-back, it's not as natural to play on the right side.
We had this conversation before the game, didn't we? So
it made us laugh when you said, you went, we wouldn't be very good centre-halves together, and I was thinking, no, you wouldn't. Our seniors play, you wouldn't be good centre-halves at all.
That's what I was told.
Never mind the left foot, it's nothing to do with that.
I was saying, the point I was getting on was where we spoke to Sven Botman in Austria when he signed 3 years ago now in the summer.
Yeah.
And I think he was asked, because the dilemma at the time was, can Dan Burn and Sven Botman play it again?
Burn was the form player, wasn't he, at the back end of that season?
Yeah.
Shea was the one people were looking to say he'll drop out.
And Sven Botman did admit to us that he can play on the right hand side, albeit he prefers to play on the left. And I think that's maybe swung it from today. I think you probably said it where you called it where you don't, because Dan Burn's so informed, you don't move him across because he's been so solid in that position.
Built up that relationship with Lewis Hall, built up that relationship with Martin Dubravka. You've already got connections there. You wouldn't totally change the
whole
thing.
Relationships in the team, which Eddie Howe's mentioned quite a lot over the last couple of weeks after he actually given the way the upturn and form the relationships within the team and keeping the team selection consistent. But yeah, they didn't really miss Fabian Schär today, I think that's fair to say. I think he goes back in still.
Does he?
I don't know
if he does, you know.
I think he does still.
I don't think he's had the best season.
No, but it's that I'm obsessed with the right foot, left foot balance. And I think Eddie Howe was even saying about I suggest it was an unwritten rule really, because you don't hear of two left-footed centre-backs, and I think it previously Howe was mentioned about the balance with right foot and left foot as well, so I think obviously Shea gives you that, but
is it not just a numbers thing though, why that's such a... I know
it is. It's probably really pedantic, sort of like I think they keep on going about, but it just doesn't feel right.
I get it, but it's a numbers thing. Although in the Geordie Journals there's three of us here, I'm the only normal one, obviously, being right-footed.
Right.
Used to a left-footed, so I'm totally outnumbered in the Geordie Journals.
Which is
however, in society, that just isn't the case at all. Most people are right-footed handed as the light goes out. Oh no. Can you turn it back on?
I think I might be dead.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just keep rolling.
I think it might go back off.
Right, we might have a little bit longer. But in society, most people are right-footed and not left-footed. So it's probably just a numbers thing, you know. Is the double left-footed centre-half thing is so rare because most centre-halves, as most players are right-footed.
And left-footed players naturally tend to go out to the wings.
Of course they do, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Because it's a rarity. You go as a youngster, speaking from experience, you're left-footed, go out on the left.
Well, see, I think there's a unique beauty about a left foot. So they
look better.
Yeah, it does. It looks like when you strike up. I was talking about your ball striking ability. I was only joking about your centre halves. It's because
I don't think you were.
You couldn't. Perry's couldn't tackle your mother.
Couldn't tackle a hot dinner, is what my dad would say.
Aye, that's fair.
Something like that.
You can a bit. You can it.
I'm a little bit better.
You're a bit better.
I'll take that.
But no, you're definitely not centre halves. You are more forwards.
I used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened.
But where we were going with that, I think it's possibly more of a numbers thing than anything else. But I was delighted to see him, and I'm not sure Shea comes back. If you see another really good defensive performance from those two, and the fitness levels are there, and Botman can consistently get through the game, because that's another worry is, has he got that in his legs, having come back after 10 months? Can he do that? He went off a cramp, I'm assuming it was cramp.
Yeah.
But it's just whether he can stay in the team fitness-wise. But I'd love to see it. I think Dan Burn's been outstanding this season.
That's the thing, you can't really drop Dan Burn.
He's undroppable at the moment,
I wouldn't.
really.
And you're just waiting for probably one of them to make a couple of mistakes where you do bring another one. And I think Shea's probably been the most mistake-laden centre-half out of the two of those two. It's just that he's the only one who gives you that natural balance.
Yeah.
Was there anything else to report for everybody out there before we possibly lose a light again on Eddie Howe? anything that he said post-match that you picked up on?
No, it was more.
If you only go to post-match, Ange Postecoglou was furious.
Was he?
Oh, he said it's the angriest he's ever been in his managerial career.
All right, mate.
He was shouting, really, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he looking at the floor? Was he
like,
actually eyeball?
stop asking me about the.
And no, did anyone actually ask him directly? I think he was.
They danced around it,
anticipating
and
the
then
question.
he was like, "I'm not answering it. I'm not talking about the handball." The incident.
He said his exact quote was, he said, if it was a even playing field today, then Tottenham would have won. That's what he said.
We lost the game today, but not because of football. That's
they definitely. Well, wait. I'm sorry, right? This is lunacy. Like this is.
We've set you off a post-match comments.
This is utter lunacy. So he thinks because of decisions, Tottenham would have won.
I do wonder.
They only scored once.
I do wonder if he's saying even playing for as in players as well, because I've got a lot of injuries.
Right.
But he always said that in response to questions about the officiating.
He was glad he paid off about the officiating.
So the officiating thing, I would argue, if you look at the I said this on the live, if anyone wants to check that out, straight after the game, Tottenham would probably say they've played 4 halves of football against Newcastle United this season, and you could argue they've probably won 3 of them. There's probably only the first half today where you'd say Newcastle United probably could have scored a few goals and shaded it. They were great at St James's Park, just couldn't put the ball in the net. So for him to suddenly say they would have won, okay, I get you, Ange, I understand what you're talking about with the Joe Linton thing, because I can imagine putting the boot on the other foot. I might be a bit miffed myself. Although the rules are the rules and they are what they are.
Well, VR put out this Premier League Match Centre put out and they said it was accidental.
But I can justify his anger because that's such a key point in the game. However, Anthony Gordon scored, then Alexander Isak scored. So
and Alexander hit at the post as well.
It was ones each. So how do you think you should have won? It's not like anybody got sent off. It's not like they were taken down to lesser men.
He also said that the football they played was outstanding, which
that's a big push.
I would say that's because
he's in a tough run.
I don't know how many shots are on goal, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that many. Shots on
goal. It's the busiest Martin Dubravka has been.
He cleaned a lot of crosses,
probably
but he
made
didn't
about
make
3 saves.
Yeah, exactly. How is that outstanding football?
The post, isn't it?
Yeah.
The post with a shot, Dubravka made 1 save from.
Yeah.
The ones where they flashed them across weren't even shots on goal. They actually ended up probably just being recorded as crosses.
Yeah.
But
he caught a good Solanke chance in stoppage time as well. He should have done better, but it was a comfortable save.
That's how you would have won a football match.
Finishing.
Is if Solanke puts his chances away, if Johnson scores, that's how you win football matches. And if you take referees out the equation, you win football matches by putting your chances away or creating more chances the other team. You're more likely to score. And it was a relatively even game today. I'm not sure either team really probably deserved to win it. A draw was probably a fair result, but such is the way of Tottenham. It's not really going for them at the minute. Such is the way of Newcastle. They're flying, full of confidence. You make your own luck when you're playing like this, and you take your chances because you probably try something you wouldn't normally try, or you'll do. You're full of confidence, and I think he's talking rubbish.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle even had a penalty shot in the second half for Gordon. I'm not sure if it was, but
I'd need to see it again. He was in a mess though.
There's a few people who thought it was. We had people behind us in the press box of a Newcastle persuasion thinking that was a penalty.
Yeah, we definitely did. I wasn't sure, but again, we only get a limited amount of chances to see.
It was a bit Virgil van Dijk on Anthony Gordon. There was a bit of that where it was just almost. It was a coming together.
I thought Van Dijk. I need to see it again. Van Dijk felt more malicious.
But it was a coming together like that.
Yeah.
Van Dijk's was definitely later, but it's one of them. Anthony Gordon definitely came off worse for wear though.
He did, yeah.
But just a cut, according to Eddie.
Was it?
Just a cut. Not no break or anything like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of blood. I thought he definitely broke his nose. I thought he was a right mess, but that's good to hear. Right, I think that's everything from us. It's freezing here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've got to go get the train back up north with big smiles on our faces. And of course, like, comment, share, subscribe for all your Geordie Journals content. There was a live earlier. I'm sure we'll put some shorts up. But the next time you will see the Geordie Journals on camera will be Monday.
Eddie Howe press conference.
Because there's been enough of them recently.
No, there's been a lot. You've seen a lot of the Geordie Journals recently, but I think you seem to like it. So
Eddie Howe
we
seeing
can't
a lot of the
complain.
Geordie
It's the third Eddie Howe press conference of 10 in the space of 2 weeks or something like that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. A lot of Eddie.
Poor guy.
And I'm sure.
Poor guy be fed up. He'll be fed up. Man.
He will. He doesn't want to see your faces again, does
No,
he?
definitely not.
No. Right. It's been a pleasure. We've enjoyed our visit to London. There hasn't been too many successful visits to London
It's your first win.
this season. Here, it's my first win here.
Yes, and also when the last time we were here, we promised we'd be back in January and bring home 3 points. So that's good.
Yes. So we only got 4th place for our little award that we came to in November. But Newcastle United take home the gold medal tonight.
Yes.
Right. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, whatever you guys are doing out there. We're heading home to go and warm up somewhere, and we might even sneak a pint in too. Right, like, comment, share, subscribe for all your Geordie Journals content, and we'll see you on Monday.